Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Parry, a stand-up comedian and director, and today I'm going to be talking to the brilliant professional stand-up comedian Mo Omar, who is the sometimes guest headliner at No Direction home gigs that we run. I wanted to ask him about starting out in stand-up, how he started out, and what rules or lessons he learned that he might have for future people wanting to start out. It was a brilliant chat, and here it is.
Because basically I didn't want to spend the money on a course because I was like, because I was so cheap. So instead I spent £15 on a book, the Logan Murray book, and then I listened to loads of podcasts. And the one thing I kept hearing was, just keep doing it. Don't think about it. Repetition, like just make it a part of your day. And because I just moved to this, which is perfect because basically you go to a city where you don't know anyone and your whole social circle is stand-up. So of course every evening you're going to go to that thing. And I gigged every night as much as I could, tried to double up. Oh my God, if you try and double up on the open mic circuit, you get you shithouse. That's what they think you're a piece of shit. Because like, who do you think you are? You're not Russell Cade.
Yeah. I remember being so impressed the first time I heard someone was doing like, I've got another gig, and it was like, you've got another gig in the same night.
Yeah. I'm still impressed by it because it's so professional. Like, it took me a while to stop treating it like once this gig is done, that's like I would write off the rest of the evening. And instead you'd see these people who are like they're scribbling away, the nerds would just be like scribbling away and then getting up and then doing their material and then going like, oh sorry bro, gotta shoot off. What a power to do that. Just like, oh sorry man, gotta shoot off.
I remember feeling the same way about people recording their gig as well. I'd be like, you're recording your gig so you can listen back to it. It was like, what?
And I definitely did it just at first. I just did it for the status, because I would never listen to it. Like, did you ever? I still barely listen to my stuff, but you should. That's the second thing, is always re-listen, because it really does affect. Like, you can't predict what's funny on stage until you're on it, and you do. Like, some of my jokes, I don't know why they're funny. I just know they work. By the way, I want to just bookend everything I'm saying with like, I don't know shit.
I think you have to. That's it. It's funny when I run the workshops, like sometimes they'll come to me and be like, do you think I should do this? Do you think this would work? And it's like, God, no, I don't know. I wish I could be in a position to say yes or no, but it's like, God, I don't know, because the few times that I've tried that, and I say that, and then it doesn't work, and you're left, you're like, no one knows anything, really. The only way to find out is to do it, you know.
I'm like so much of it, and I wish it was like, because I've got to like meet bigger comics, and you think they all know something, and like it's no one's hiding any great secret, and I think that's the third thing, is like blinders. Keeping yourself like as long as it makes you laugh, and it's funny, because it's like after a while you start like trying to guess what works, and you can't do that. Like, you can for a bit, like, you can learn joke structure and all that stuff, but like the person who's the guy who does like 28 marathons, and he has a show called License to Kill. Eddie Izzard, yeah. I was listening to a podcast he was on. That guy is just a machine. Even he who like tries to control everything, even he was like, I didn't choose what I was funny in. It just came to me, and I did that. I tried everything. There is actual record of me trying gigs where I would run up onto the stage and trip myself over.
Wow.
And try and do physical comedy, because I thought like I was going through a phase of like watching all the weird and wonderful acts, and I was like, I want that. I want to be zany, and then I tried to do musical comedy, and that didn't work. And I try to do poems. Obviously, I try to wear a blazer. I always bomb in a blazer, but it's the one thing I always want to be able to wear is a blazer.
I like that. That's
Honestly,
a comedy style. There's slapstick. There's musical comedy. There's comedy wearing a blazer.
there is though. There's nothing more snazzy than anyone stood on a stage with a blazer. It just shows like I've made. It's somehow it. People look at me in a blazer. I don't know what they're thinking, but I imagine they're thinking is, who's this guy, bro? Like that's, and I can't have that. I'm already on the back foot. I need to ingratiate myself with them. And it's like, I remember I did a gig for a charity, and I wore the blazer. And this is at a charity. They're heckling me. They're heckling me at a charity gig. Someone said something, and I went, "Who said that?" And because it was over Zoom, I was like trying to look in. This is why I got this new setup, because I looked in, and then they were like, "Get some glasses," and I went, "What? This is a charity gig. How could you? Why do you hate me, people?"
On Zoom, it's because you had a blazer on.
Yeah, 100%. I've never done well. I did a gig in front of Amir Khan once wearing a blazer, and I said to him, I said, "Hello, Amir Khan," just on stage, just like because I was just a fan. And he looked at me and he gave me this look like, say one more thing to me. And I went, sorry, man. Okay, I'll move on. But yeah, that's the third rule I would say is like, you don't just try anything. And is that 3 rules? Like the first was keep just repetition. The second was, I forgot what the second one was. And the third one was to try anything because you don't know what'll hit.
Yeah.
Like
the second one you said was listen to yourself, like listen back.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, exactly. Listen to yourself. And do you know what? Every time I've prepared for a gig, it's always gone way better than when I've gone, I think I got this. And do you know that feeling when you're like, because that's the pre-bomb feeling, that confidence, you're gonna bomb. You're about to go up on stage and eat absolute doggy poop. Oh, no. But yeah,
it's so in rock and roll, the reality of prep really hard, do your homework, like learn it so you're prepared. It's so against the idea of what successful stand-up looks like.
Yeah, carry back like
here's a thing, and like
in
fact, Eddie Izzard's a really good lesson for that, because when I grew up watching Eddie Izzard, you'd think this guy just says anything off the top of his head. It's amazing, and it's like he's so well prepared in everything he's doing. It's incredible.
Like to talk at that, like we all wanna be that guy who who comes on, lights a cigarette and goes, society, man, society's done. And the audience is like, whoa, this guy really knows what he's talking about. But the reality is you're at the back and you're clutching your notes and you're sweating and you're like, don't pretend like you didn't practice, but you did read. You want to be that kid in school who told you he didn't revise and then comes out with an A star. Do you know that prick? Do you remember that asshole in school who's like, nah, bro, I don't think I, I just flicked through the book. And you're like, you got 98%. How is that possible? But yeah, man, definitely. Those are the 3 Mo rules, which really mean nothing in the real world. They're not. They're great. They're all just from other people. I would never trust myself with advice. Like if I was and also, okay, this is the 4th one, that what you're doing doesn't really matter. Like this is the most low stakes. I know you'll see comics like going like, I'm going to war. And it's just like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're just talking to people and hopefully they'll laugh. But it's really not that high stakes. And bombing, which is what they call like not doing well, is okay. Like it's part of it. If you're not bombing, you're not doing well. If every few gigs you're not like coming off feeling like the earth should swallow you up, then you're not trying to do something that's unique to you, because it's your own wave, man. Like it's like, I don't know what I'm talking about. What the fuck?
I love that. Yeah. No, I love that. That's a great way to go.
Yeah. Like you don't want to be that guy, that guy you met on the circuit who's been on it for 10 years, peddling the same 10 minutes. And he's like, yo, I always kill. always. And you're like, yeah, you don't do shit. That's why you're not trying. I always murder. Do you know those words?
Yeah.
Those violent words for what is essentially a man trying to affect a job out of what would potentially be a mental illness, if they were allowed, if they did it without any of the thing. Yeah, man. Like,
Great, man. That's really
yeah.
great. Awesome. Thank you. Well, there you go. Four rules.
You got value for money. You don't find me funny, but you get value for money.
I mean, can I just confirm rule 3 is never wear a blazer? Is that right?
But the blazer thing is, if you can get it, honestly, if you come up to me and you're like, I wore a blazer on set, I will be so jealous.
I really want you to be wearing a blazer for the next time you gig for us now. Please wear a blazer for the next No Direction home gig.
I'll be getting booed. Watch. It'll be like, ooh, there's something about this guy I don't trust. And I'll take off the blazer, and then people are like, oh, I don't know what came over me. I'm so sorry. I just saw red. Yeah, man.